Get ready with me to go shopping. I have honestly no idea where I'm going, but all I know is that I need to get ready. Taking some of this NYX Angel Veil primer just to prime my face. Now for this look, I'm really thinking of leaning more towards like a spring look, more like peachy tones. Maybe I'm going to do an eyeshadow. So now I do want to do some eyeshadow today, so I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. white primer. I'm really thinking of doing a like more of a spring vibrant look, so I do need a prime. Now I want to take this pH lip oil from Beauty Creation. Now this does have quite a bit of a stain, so I want to apply some just so we can start building that lip combo. See how immediately it did start staining the lips? But now we're going to move on to foundation. Now I honestly don't really want to go into foundation today, so I'm going to take this e.l.f. Camo Concealer. I used to use this a ton for foundation and I used to really love it. I haven't done this in so long, so I want to start doing it again. Now that I'm blending it out, it honestly is really not my shade. But you know what? Nameless. I already put it on. I really don't like taking off my makeup once I already put it on. If it looks bad, then it looks bad, and I will honestly just move on. So we're just going to deal with it either way. We'll see if I can fix it up. I'll probably maybe add some bronzer. You know what? Color aside, I really still love it as foundation. So if you have the e.l.f. Camo Concealer, I really recommend using it as a foundation, especially because it does have quite a bit of product and you don't need much to go off with. Now, I really only started using it as foundation because I really love Project Pan, and at the time I had this concealer and I really wanted to finish it up. Now, I really want to get back into like colors, so I'm wearing this white top to go shopping today, and I have this palette from Wet n Wild. This is a little stars palette, and I really just have not used it. So I'm thinking of going in with these shades here. I feel like it'll go with the shirt. So I'm going to take this one. I really have not used this palette. I used to love using the glitter and then this shimmer, but then the rest is really untouched. So
what palette? That's mine. Give it back.
Don't mind her. That's my sister. We're hanging out today, so she's here bombarding my space. But starting off with this one. So I'm going in with this shade. I really like this shade. I need to get back into eyeshadow. I used to love eyeshadow so much. Now I do want to deepen up the eyes, so I'm going to go in with this brown shade. Just really focusing on the socket right here. And then just flaring it out a little bit so I can bring some shape. Now just to finish off this look, I'm going to go in with this shimmer shade just all over the lid. Honestly, I really thought I was going to do more of a colorful look, but it ended up not being. I like this. I really need to get back into eyeshadow, honestly. It's super cute, really simple. Now I do want to go in and add some liner, so I'm going to take this darker brown shade on just a smaller angled brush. I'm going to do a quick little liner. I feel like this look kind of needs one. I feel like the liner is a little too light, but honestly, it's fine. So now I'm just going to take a little bit of concealer just so I can clean this look up. I know I went in with concealer as foundation, but usually when I use it as a foundation, I like going in with an even lighter concealer. That might be honestly kind of productive, but let's just use it. Now I really feel like we need to go in and bronze the skin, so I'm just going to go in with this little bit of bronzer. Honestly, all over the face. I feel like even the nose has kind of disappeared with this shade. Okay, so I'm going to blend the nose first. Need to bring a little bit more life to my face. Go in the forehead. And now let's go blend in. I'm going to take whatever is left and I'm going to bring it down. Just make sure we bring balance to the face. So now it's time for our blush combo. So I'm going to start off with this AOA blush. It has a bit of a peachy tone, which I feel like will go with the slight peachiness of the eyeshadow. Now we just blend it. I feel like because of the eyeshadow, it's like right here in the middle. I want to keep the blush just right here, but also blending it out so that it looks good from the side too. Now because we did a peach blush and we did a little bit peach on the eyes, I feel like it's only right to go in with a peach powder. So I'm going to go in with this one from Morphe. I really like matching the powder shades to my blush. I feel like it ends up making a really nice transition. Now honestly, I'm being a little silly today, so I kind of want to trust out baking. So we're going to see how it works. I've tried it a couple times, but honestly, I never paid attention enough to see if it actually worked. But today, I will be paying attention. So I don't really like when it gets super oily here. So I'm going to try and put a whole bunch of powder and see how it's going to work out throughout the day. Now, while we're letting that bake a little bit, I do want to go in and bronze the skin with a powder bronzer. So I'm going to take these two from AOA. I'm going to use this one a little bit as a guide for my darker shade. And then I feel like we need a lot over here. Then just taking a little bit across the chin. And I'm going to go in with a tiny bit of this darker shade, just right over here on the outside perimeters. And just right here. Now let's wipe off this powder so we can start doing our blush combo. And I'm going to sweep the powder inwards. So for the matte, I'm going to go in first with this orangey shade, just right in the center, aligning it to the eyeshadow. And I'm going to mix both the mid-tone and the deepest shade together and just put it over here. But I'm not taking it super upwards, just enough because the eyeshadow goes this way, so I feel like the blush should also kind of go this way. Now today is a little bit of a silly makeup day, so I do want to take a yellow blush. Now I'm going to take it as BH Cosmetics Doja Cat. This is such a beautiful yellow blush. I feel like we really need to bring back yellow. I really thought this year was going to be the year we bring yellow blush in, especially because the trend color is like butter yellow. But we still haven't seen super like yellow things in makeup right now. But I really like yellow on top of like peachy and orangey blushes, just right on top as a blending shade. It just makes this beautiful, like seamless blend. I just love it. I feel like I ended up being very blush today, but honestly, I quite like it. It's kind of a vibe. It's honestly kind of giving carrots because it is very peachy and orangey, and I haven't done like a peachy and orangey look in such a long time. But honestly, I really need to get back into my creative mode. I used to be so creative. I miss it. So now I'm going to curl the lashes so we can finish up the eye look. Now it's time for mascara. Now this is honestly where it could go wrong. I've been testing out this Prossa Mascara and I really love it. But the wand is so huge that it just like ends up messing up the shadow. I'm trying to figure out like how to make this work. And so far it's like looking down into the mirror and just like going like that is the best way to kind of avoid getting all the flakes on your eye look. Now lastly, it's time for our lip combo. So I'll go in with this one. I feel like because we already made that base lip with that Beauty Creations lip tint. Now this lip liner is really just to create like a nice little blend over here, and then I'm going to take this gloss from Neutrogena. I feel like it kind of just ties in the look. Maybe. It's not my favorite gloss for this look, but I think it works. Now usually for like very blush looks like this, I really like doing this type of lip technique. So I like using a like kind of like a blurring lip liner. So as you can see, there's like really like blurred edges around the line. It's not super like, you know. And then I just go in with the gloss kind of just right in the center. And it ends up looking like this. I feel like it matches the vibe of not only the blush, but also the eyeshadow. Take a little bit of some brow gel. Still have not done my brows. I'm really thinking of doing them in a couple of days. I don't know. I'm deciding on what shape I want to do them. I might go thin, but like honestly, I have no idea actually still at this moment what I'm going to do with my brows. Now lastly, I want to add a little bit of highlight. So I'm going with this Profusion Highlight palette. I'm going to take this sort of peachy shade. I love using this palette for like more colorful looks. I feel like this formulation is really nice. It sits really nicely on top of the texture that I have over here. One of my favorite palettes.
Not me realizing that my mic cut off, but I basically was just doing the under eye. So I basically just took the shades that I used on the top portion of my eye and I just dragged it down. Really simple, not too much for the under eye. I just really wanted to mesh the blush plus the eyeshadow look. So I just went in with the easiest transition shade just to make sure that there's enough balance between the face. Now I did want to take a little bit of the highlighter, so I went back in with that Profusion and I went in with that peachy shade just once again, but at this time I used it for my nose, just right on the tip and on the edge. And this is the final look. I feel like I look like such a cutesy little carrot. The makeup came out so good. I really fell in love with it. So this is it for today's makeup. Okay, bye. Mwah.